Hi guys, I've just arrived at Yas Marina Circuit for a Porsche event, which is quite obvious from looking at this. Now you've seen a lot of these as replicas. This one here is the real deal. Just check this out. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? This is a 1956 Porsche 356A 1600 speeder. Just have a look at the interior. There's a bit of a giveaway that this is the real thing. This is from the Porsche Museum. A few details for you over here. Check it out. 4-cylinder Boxster engine. There's a bit of a clue as to what we're going out in today, maybe, or tomorrow.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Yas Marina Circuit, welcome to Abu Dhabi, and welcome to sharing history with us. You today will join in a historic time that for the first time in the history of Porsche in the Middle East, we introduce two iconic cars on the same day. We are delighted that you are here, and we look forward to spending the next few days with you. Today and tomorrow, you will witness evolution of design and revolution of technology. And I don't say that lightheartedly, and I look forward to hearing your comments in the next few days, whether we are in fact so. But let's start off with the most successful sports car ever made, the 911. It embodies the purest form of sports cars in every way, and is in the genes of everything that we do at Porsche. And it has been a wonderfully successful car. Globally, since 1964, we have sold 900,000 cars worldwide, and on a regional basis, we are particularly proud what 911 has done. Over the past 4 years, we've increased our market share by 80%. And in the last 4 years, we have grown 24% year on year. And probably the most staggering part of that all is that every fifth 911 sold in the region is a turbo or a GT model, which is fantastic. And as always, every generation of 911 is better than the previous one. And I am confident that when I speak to you later on today or at the end of tomorrow, you will not only confirm that, you will endorse that in every single way. The generation continues to carry on what we as Porsche believe is the right thing to do. We are best in class in every single element that we strive to do in. There we go. It was a bold decision that today we know was the right one. When 20 years ago, the Porsche Boxster celebrated its world premiere, and I know some of you were there at the time. The vehicle was developed in economically challenging times, and it was based on a concept that created a sensation in 1993. What's more, it was developing using technology what was more extraordinary and traditional. It was a convertible roadster, but with a mid-mounted engine like the Porsche 550 Spider of the 1950s, whose design it adopted. A classic flat engine was mounted in front of the axle, but for the first time, Porsche had a 6-cylinder water-cooled engine. This year, on the anniversary of the Boxster, we are celebrating successful sports car with a new generation of a new typical Porsche that forged its own path, merging tradition and a visionary technology. Its name, Boxster, is unique in that it's the combination of the word boxer, our flat six engine, and roadster. And these two core concepts remain unchanged from then. Once again, it has a flat engine, but more now with only 4 cylinders, which is the same as it had in the 550 Spider. And considering the success of the 550 Spider, it is seen as the concept that the new car is based on. The 550 Spider models, those of you might know, made history in the 50s and the 60s and was driven to more than 1,000 victories worldwide. The 550A Spider in 1956 won the Targa Florio, which was considered one of the toughest road races at the time. Its successor, the 718 RSK, won numerous victories, for example with Le Mans, the Nürburgring, in Argentina, in California, and in most of the mountain climb races worldwide. It did so with the 4-cylinder engine, one that remains a top example of engineering at the time. It was a flat engine with dual ignition, with 4 overhead cams and a 4-speed gearbox, and produced a staggering 142 horsepower out of a 1.5 litre motor. Now the new car the 718 Boxster has taken up that philosophy of the historical 7 and 18 by sending a clear message that the new Boxster is better by far than anything before it.
Hi guys, so we're starting our day here at Yas Marina Circuit, and we're going to be doing driving sessions. So it's over 2 days, so I'm going to be here today and tomorrow. Today I'm doing 911, so we're doing the 911, we'll be on the track in the morning, and in the afternoon we're going out on the road drive. And hopefully tomorrow I'll get to drive the 718 Boxster. So keep checking in with us on Motoring Middle East, and I'll try and give you some impressions as we go along. This is my ride now. See the doors open, cars running. See you later.
There you go, up to 120 and then back, you know?
So we're just doing the acceleration run as part of a series of exercises here on the South Circuit at Yas Marina in the new 911. And basically what they've done is they've set up some exercises, so we're not actually doing hot laps at the moment. We're just going round and follow the leader around and doing a series of exercises. So it's quite interesting. This is now a Carrera S that we're in, but we've just been in that yellow Carrera S in front of us. That one has the optional four-wheel steering, so the passive rear steering or the active rear steering, whatever, and this one doesn't. So it's interesting that through here, I've just done one lap and I'm now doing another lap through here, and there's much more attitude on the car, there's much more lean, you can feel it moving around much more than we did with the other one earlier when we tried that. And again, that one felt really planted. We're just coming into the hotel section here. So this is a sharp corner, so these are the bits that scare me. We're going under the bridge here, braking here, and then accelerating into a lane change maneuver, which is about 100k lane change maneuver. Now, in the other car, this car, yeah, you really feel that direction change and that movement. You really feel it. There goes a cone. But in the other car, in the four-wheel steer car, it is considerably, and I'm sure that my friend behind the camera agrees with me, it was considerably more stable driving that one with four-wheel steering than this one. So yeah, if you get a chance to get one of these, you're thinking whether or not to go for the optional steering if you do track stuff, go for it. Now this car went out in, this is the 911 Carrera S. This one here has got the rear wheel steering and the PDCC. All three behind me that you see, the grey one and the blue one, all are Carrera S's, but the grey one doesn't have the rear steering and the PDCC. The blue one does. The difference, I have to say, is absolutely substantial. How you feel when you go through the slalom, that car, these cars with the PDCC with the rear wheel steering, just corner flat, very stable. This one, great car it is, power's tremendous and handles fine, but you just get a little bit more body roll, you just get a little bit more movement, and then you start to feel maybe a little less confident. But otherwise, great cars. This one moved around a little bit on us, but moved in a very nice, linear, very comfortable way, a very friendly way. So very enjoyable. So next up, hot laps. So here we are in, again, this is a 911 Carrera S. This one doesn't have the four-wheel steer, the rear wheel steer, and the PDCC. So this is the regular car. It's a cabriolet, but we're not allowed to put the roof down. So this is a shame. Actually, it would be quite fun to go around the track with the roof down, see how that feels.
We'll head out now.
So we're going out now, and yeah, we'll see how this does. So do one lap with you guys around the circuit here, South Circuit. Leave it in automatic because I need to just concentrate to talk to you. Hard on the brakes. So this one doesn't have the rear wheel steering. You can just immediately feel it, just moving around so much more than the other car. But having said that, it's still a Porsche. It's still, you can still feel the balance. You know what you're doing with it. Still rotates rather nicely, I gotta say. It accelerates certainly really well. This one always amazes me. You're braking here under the bridge, coming up to under the bridge, I should say. Let's listen to the engine. This bit's nice, plenty of rubber there. Very good. So we're just on the cool down lap now in this 911, just going back into the pits. And yeah, I mean, these, I'm not a great track driver, and these cars do. You know, at the back of your mind, you always remember that these are a 911. The engine is out the back, and you can't. I mean, certainly for somebody like me, you can't help but shake that feeling. But having said that, I mean, you know, the more they've evolved these cars, the more they've improved them, the better they've got. They've just become easier and easier to drive, even for novices like me. You know, and easier to manage at high speed. I think I do prefer the all-wheel steer, the rear steer car with the PDCC. I think just the extra stability of the car just gave me a little bit more confidence than this one does. I think this one just not that the car slides, it's just that the body rolls a little bit more, and you just get that feeling of instability. Not instability, but just like less stability than the other car. I couldn't really say that the steering is any less feelsome or whatever, or any more feelsome, but I think it's just the fact that having that system on the other car just gives you more confidence. Right, so I know I look ridiculous in this, don't I? So this will probably be the last run for me on the track. I think I've done my rotation in all of the cars. I'm now in the Carrera, so not the Carrera S. Until now I've been driving the Carrera S's. Now I'm in the actual Carrera. And previously with 911s, this has always been my favorite one. The entry-level model, if you like, has always been, to me, the more accessible car. And certainly for somebody like my skill sets, I've always found this one to be a bit more my level sort of car, if you see what I mean. Although having said that, I did like the all-wheel steer in the Carrera S. So if you get the Carrera S, like I keep saying, make sure you get the PDCC and the all-wheel steer. So this car doesn't have any of that. This is just the normal Carrera, but you know, it still has a more than enough power. It has the new engines in it. I'll give you the specs and stuff later on. Stick that into auto so I can talk to you a little bit. So we're now in the Carrera, braking hard for this one. I don't know why this car already feels, at the steering, at the helm, it just tends to feel a bit lighter to me. This one just feels a little bit more, less brutish, more friendlier, and a little bit lighter. Certainly a lot less wayward than the Carrera S. Less power to play with, I suppose, so less likelihood of you making a mistake. The Carrera S's are kind of marching away from me a little bit, but that's probably more my driving in the car. But I do find this one quite comfortable, and I'm not feeling the problems that I had with the Carrera S without the all-wheel steer is not a problem that I'm feeling in this car. Steer on the accelerator, it's amazing. You can just change its attitude just with your right foot. So as soon as you feel that understeer, you can just start to lift off a little bit, and it just pivots it around. Give me a chance to talk to you. I have to say I have to focus on what I'm doing when I'm on the track. It's kind of hard to talk to you guys, but yeah, I think that this car actually, I would still say that for 911 virgins, we're yet to drive these cars on the roads. I think we're doing that this afternoon, but I would still say that for 911 virgins, you want to get into a 911, get into the Carrera first. Start with this car. This is the most amenable, most accessible, friendliest car. Even the steering, although it feels lighter, it doesn't feel any less accurate or any less communicative. But they're not massively communicative compared to what they used to be. But it does feel accessible, it does feel friendly. And you know what, the performance deficit, like I said, I mean, those two were beginning to move off a little bit, but I think that's probably more my driving than the car. So I don't think you're losing that much really in terms of outright performance. So I've had my last run on the track. Today's session, we're having a little break and then we're going to go out and do a short road route around Abu Dhabi in these 911s. And I've always said about 911s that my pick of the bunch is the Carrera. This is the Carrera. This is the last car that I drove on the track. And I have to say, I still think my pick of the bunch is the Carrera. It doesn't have the PDCC and all the fancy smancy suspension and all the rest of it that some of the other cars have. If you want that, then you've got to spend the money and go for the all-wheel steer and the PDCC and all the rest of it and go all the way. If you don't, get this one. It just feels lighter. It feels more manageable. And in a good driver's hand, it's actually not that much slower in a track situation like this one than the S's. So really, what are you really losing? And you're saving a little bit of money and you're getting a little bit more of a feelsome car. You know, plus, can you really tell the difference? I can't, honestly speaking. Admittedly, I'm not a 911 aficionado, but I can't. But I quite like the way that looks, and I do think that that's probably the one to get. But like I said, if you're going to go S, then you need to make sure you tick the option box for the rear wheel steering and the PDCC. So great fun here on the track. These cars, I do think that the steering feel is better on this generation 911. Definitely get a little bit more confidence in these cars than I was getting in the immediate predecessor to this car. So they've definitely worked on this car. It's not just the new turbo engines, but there's a host of other changes that have happened and things that they've done and tweaks that they've made to make these cars even better. If you're a 911 fan, you're just going to love this because it's just the same car, but it's just getting better and better, constantly evolving, constantly getting better, constantly improving, constantly getting more desirable. If you're thinking of placing an order, just go ahead and do it. Okay, so I'm sitting in a convertible, a cabriolet if you like, 911 Carrera. We just went out for a short drive around Abu Dhabi, or rather Yas Island, in this car. What I thought I'd do is just take the opportunity to show you around inside the car. Since we have a convertible, we've got a good light. Let me just start it up as well so you can just hear the engine starting up. So typical key over here, and just reminding you what it is. Now the more astute of you will immediately notice the main difference in here, actually two main differences, one of which is this new screen. And as you can see, it replaces the old thing with the buttons down each side. This looks much cleaner, much more modern. And one of the things I noticed, you can see a bit of reflections on there, but actually we've got the roof down, don't forget. And this has got a kind of a matte finish to the screen, and it does cut down the reflections quite considerably. So it's a lot better than you might imagine it to be. The stereo is on, I'll turn that down. It's all touch system, but it has a very nice feel about it, and moves very easily through all the different things. You do have to use the home button here to go back, and you have all your your sat nav and all the rest of it. So a big improvement, and it has of course Apple CarPlay in this as well. So once you just put your iPhone in by cable, or I suppose it works Android, I'm not sure it works on Android, but certainly it's got the Apple one. I've seen that in action, and you can do all of those things. The rest of the interior, to be honest, is pretty familiar if you're familiar with 911s. This one's got the sport exhaust, which sounds so much better. Press that, I don't know if you heard a little bit of a burble straight away. So you do get a little bit more of a gruff note there, which is kind of nice. And then you have your typical, you've got your cup holders, as you always have, hidden away here in this little compartment. Now the other big difference is the steering wheel, and I've just switched cars in order to show you that, because there's a different wheel. I think it's called the GT wheel, I'm not sure, I'll have to double check that. And here it is, check it out. So it's got these riveted bits here. The steering shape is similar to how it was before, and the controls are certainly similar to how they were before, but it has this kind of Meccano style riveted elements to it, which certainly give it a bit more of a sporty, aggressive, and more interesting, distinctive look. It also has this little pod here. Now this is quite interesting, because this is the one that now gives you, I'll zoom in a little bit, and it gives you the 4 modes. That's the regular mode, Sport, and Sport Plus, and that's the individual mode, which you can set up as per your own configuration. So there you go. Wouldn't quite choose it with this with these yellow vents in this Miami Blue edition that they've got. I'll just pull back and show you this car, because it is quite a striking car, apart from the vents, if you like. It does have yellow pinstriping on the seats. But here you go, there it is, Carrera 4S. Check it out. Hi, so here we are. You can recognize this framework behind me. We are, of course, in the iconic Yas Hotel, the Yas Viceroy Hotel here at Yas Marina Circuit. So after a hard day of thrashing 911s on the track and having a gentle cruise around Abu Dhabi, we're here in the hotel. to prepare us for a night of rest before we get to do the same thing again tomorrow in the 718 Boxster. A few of you guys say, oh, you know, journalists, tough life. Oh yeah, man, it's tough life. Look at us working hard. Let me just show you around where we are. So there you can see the track in the background, the famous Grand Prix circuit, the Formula 1 Grand Prix circuit, and the marina section. There's some rather expensive forms of transport there floating around in the bay there. So here we are. This is the room that on Porsche's ticket I'm in for tonight. I'll only be in here for a couple of hours now before going out to a reception this evening, a dinner reception, so a few little tidbits that they've given us if I'm feeling a little bit peckish. And a goodie bag. Look at this. What have we got in here? So that's a welcome letter, and we have some luggage tags. I always like to keep luggage tags, as you may have noticed, on my bags. And what's this? Keyring? Maybe that's a key finder keyring thing. Some useful, some card about the 911. They've even got it on the TV. Look, the TV. When I came in, the TV was on, and there's all this Porsche stuff coming on the TV, and they're talking about the past and the present, the future. Some badges there. Look at that. Some Porsche badges. And what else have we got? Another little badge for you. It's rather nice. And we have, look at that. Isn't that clever? Well, that's pretty neat, actually. Oh, that's a keeper. What else have we got? Models, I hope so. I do like model cars. Oh, one of these pewter models. Look at that. There's the silver ones. Actually, you know what? I've still got my old 911 one. There's a 718 one. I wonder if I should give one of these away. Maybe a competition. What do you think? I'll have a think about that one. So here we go. So, you know, weary as I am, hard day that it's been. I'm going to take a little break now, refresh, and then go out for an evening with the Porsche chaps, and then I'll catch up with you tomorrow when we're out driving the new 718 Boxster. See you then. Good morning, and here we are at Yas Marina Circuit, and we are about to start a driving session. We're not going to be driving on the track, at least not straight away. We'll be doing that later on. We're going out on the roads, and we're going out in this lineup of beauties. Check them out. And that car behind me, you see that one? That's the Yas. That's a 2.5 Boxster 718, and we're going out in that one. And check back with us later, and I'll give you my first impressions of that car. So looking forward to that, because it's now got the new 4-cylinder flat 4 engine, harking back to the old 50s, the 550 base 718 racer, the Le Mans racer that had the 4-cylinder Boxster engine. So a lot of history, completely new car, they're saying, you know, everything apart from the roof, the windscreen, and the boot lid spoiler. But otherwise it's supposed to be a new car. So yeah, really looking forward to this. They're saying the steering is improved, 10% more direct. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing how that feels from behind the steering wheel. Just a quick one, I've just started up this 718 Boxster, and of course the big thing is the engine and the new engine noise. So this is the Yas version, the 2.5. I'll just give it a couple of blips for you. Sounds quite gruff, quite meaty, quite low tone. So yeah, let's see how we get on with this. So here we are, we've just been out driving the Boxster S. This is the one we've got, the 2.5, check it out. What do you think of this car? Huh? It's got some nice new lines on it. I like the front has some this new LED on there, if you can see, new slats there. There's a nice new crease along the fender here. Headlights are pretty nice. This one's got nice black contrasting wheels, looks really good. Very familiar lines, but they say that this is an all-new car. And it is an all-new car. To me, the most distinctive feature is right here at the back. I think that looks fantastic. Look at that. And that Porsche, that strip just above the boot line below the spoiler that does go up and down still, that goes up automatically, or there's a little button in the center console that you can send it up and down with. And I think that looks really distinctive and gives it a really nice look at the back, very distinctive, certainly stands out. And there's no way you're going to miss that car once it's overtaken you. Check out the rear tail lights. I do like that arrangement. But overall, a very, very nice car. We have a quick look inside and you can see that it's got, if you were watching any of my videos yesterday, in the interior video of the 911, you'll see that this one also now has the same center screen. The infotainment system is taken from there. The touch screen is the same one in there. I'm guessing it will also have the Apple CarPlay. I'm assuming, I haven't checked it myself, but I'm assuming since it's the same system that it's got that. And it also has that GT style steering wheel with these riveted kind of things, which do look kind of funky and very cool. And it's got a little knob here with the 4 driving modes. I like the paddles. I feel the steering wheel is smaller than the one on 911, and it has these nice paddles. I do like those, very, very nice indeed. So we're in the Boxster. I'm in the Boxster S on the South Circuit of Yas Marina, and we're just doing a few fast laps behind the instructor. So I just got focused on what I'm doing as well. And yeah, beautifully balanced. It's just so much more. I mean, for me and for my particular driving skills, I just find that I get more confidence from this mid-engine layout on the Boxster than in that rear-engine 911. Massive high-speed sweeper here, and in this brake, you know, where you brake on that corner, but remarkably stable. Performance is plentiful for me, I'll tell you that much. And really, you can feed it in, throttle, no problem at all. Very, very nice, very easy to drive. Very easy to drive quick, and very enjoyable to drive quick. Damn, I quite like this Boxster, I have to say. A lot more feel from the steering. I'm pretty sure there's more direct.
Okay guys, we're just going to do a quick driver change, then you can see the true feeling of back-to-back. That's what we're trying to achieve here for you.
So now I'm going to jump into the 2 litre. This was the 2.5, and now I'm going to jump into the 2 litre car, and we'll see what that one's like. So this is now the 2 litre Boxster. I haven't driven this one on the road yet, so I'm just driving it now for the first time. Tell you what, I'm not feeling a particularly lack of performance. Brakes are softer in this one. Might just be because the previous driver's been hammering it. Again, there's a lightness about the smaller engine car that to me is particularly appealing. It's nice to turn it in on the brakes actually to get that weight forward. In this car, we're just on a cool down lap now, so it lets me talk to you a little bit. And yeah, really easy car to drive, really enjoyable, actually quite fun, and quick even in the hands of a complete imbecile like me. And I have to say, I mean, you know, on track I don't find this Boxster lacking at all when it compares to the S. And if anything, a bit like the Carrera with the 911s, I find the steering is more accessible, somehow lighter, and the car just feels more approachable for somebody like me. Be interested to see how this car is on the road. I didn't drive it on the road. I drove the 2.5, the S version. But I think it should be no issue whatsoever, I think. So there it is, 2 days of playing around at Yas Marina with these cars you see behind me. Does it get any better? Honestly speaking, I know you guys are jealous, but hey ho, it's tough life, somebody's got to do it, right? So today we were mostly focusing on the 718 Boxster that you see on my left here behind me. And I'll give you a few bits of information. Obviously this was inspired by the old 718 Le Mans racer. Now back in the 50s, whenever that car was out, that had a 1.5 litre engine with 142 horsepower. Now these cars are 2 litre engine, is the base model car, starts at about 220,000 dirhams, and that's 300 horsepower. No slouch, 0 to 100 in about 4.7 seconds and 275 kilometers per hour. Then the next one up is the Boxster S. That gets a 2.5. Again, both of these are the new flat 4 Boxster engines. So the 2.5 gives you 350 horsepower. I've just bumped into a door there. 350 horsepower, thankfully nobody was there. And that does 0 to 100 in 4.2 seconds and a top speed of 285 kilometers per hour. Now, interesting aside, even the regular Boxster, the 2 litre, has 31% more torque than it had before, and the S has 17% more torque. The S is at 248,000 dirhams. They're 13% more fuel efficient, and they got all the other features that you can have. You can get the sports chrono package. I would recommend that because you get the fancy steering wheel and you get the 4 driving modes, which are fantastic to play with. So if you're going to get the option, make sure you get that one. I do like the rear of this car. I think it was absolutely fantastic. And they have, within the chrono package, they have the sport response button, which gives you that extra acceleration. It's not a burst of power, it's just playing with the transmission ratios to give you better acceleration. So 2 days of playing around with these cars. They said that the steering was a bit more direct in the Boxster. I have to say I believe them. I think it was. I did feel it was more accessible and more enjoyable to drive. Overall then, the 2 cars, 911 yesterday, 718 Boxster today. Shall I call it? Yes, I like the Boxster. I like the Boxster, and in fact even the 2 litre for me was fantastic. So both these cars are wonderful. Check them out. They're probably going to sell in huge numbers. Very popular. I don't see that diminishing one little bit. I hope you've enjoyed our updates. Please do keep watching us. Let us know what you thought of our reviews, and check us out on motoringme.com. Look for us on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Just search for Motoring Middle East. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then please do subscribe, like and share. Thanks so much for watching. Until the next one.